Okay, good morning, folks, and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 26th. Uh, we have a lot of news that's going to come out today. We have durable goods coming out at 8:30. Maybe I should have made this for 8:30 because it could move the markets. We also have the market's going to be on hold because you have uh, Jackson Hole, which is ongoing, I believe. So we'll look to see whether or not we're going to get more news out of it. But in the very short term, let's focus on durable goods orders because it is an indication of as to whether or not you have people going out and buying washing machines, dryers, big ticket items. My guess would be yes, and the reason for that is that you're seeing home sales surge. So you would expect to see a rise in durable goods. Good morning, Oliver. Tomorrow we have initial jobless claims, very important. I think that this market rallies on a figure below 1 million. The expectation is 1 million. And tomorrow, here we go. I didn't see this here. All right, so the uh, Jackson Hole Fed Chair Powell will be speaking tomorrow 10 a.m. So expect fireworks tomorrow. I guess today what will happen is they're going to keep this market in check. So what people are waiting for is a signal out of Jackson Hole about as to whether or not there is a plan for more stimulus. How dovish will the Federal Reserve remain if we get strong durable goods numbers? Consumer confidence was horrible yesterday. The expectation was for a read of 93. Actual was 84.8. New home sales, and this is why I believe that the durable goods number is going to be a pretty powerful one. You saw a huge beat on new home sales. The expectation was for 790,000 home sales. The actual was 901,000. So mixed data. In the end, what's going to matter is good old Jay Powell, because that's what's driving this market. Sam, good morning. Yeah, prices are going to go up. It all comes back to the velocity of money. How many transactions are taking place? You have not as many as there were. It's rising. And if you have production which is below what it should be, well, then you have a ton of cheap capital chasing too few goods. And that's going to send inflation higher. And I'm in the firm camp now that we've entered a stagflationary environment. Let's get to the pre-market activity. So, as I was just mentioning, don't expect much. We're in a holding pattern. You can't get much more flat than this. So you're seeing prices rise. What you saw, the DBA, that's an agriculture fund here in the States, that saw a big move up higher. It's breaking out on a weekly, monthly basis as well. So we're seeing it here as well, Sam. Tomatoes are expensive. Corn, of all things, corn, which is traditionally very cheap, very expensive this year. So E-minis flat. NASDAQ 100. Jesus, they're spiking it again. Up nearly of a third of a percentage point. New highs. My screen just froze. Great. Only when I'm live. Lovely. All right. You done? No, you're not done. Let's take a look while this is spooling and probably going to force me to shut down. Let's, no, Chrome's not responding. Sorry, folks. It looks like I have an internet connection issue here. Okay, we're back. All right. So, NASDAQ 100 doing well. The Russell under a bit of pressure this morning, but it's in a holding pattern. These are 4-hour charts. These are all before hour charts. In fact, let's do this with the Russell. Yeah. So we broke out on Monday, but we couldn't hold the breakout point on the Russell. I'd like to see a breakout here because we've done really well with the small caps until last week where they started puking a bit. They're always fun to trade. And I like names like SPCE, which had a good Monday and not so good Tuesday. And we're a bit weak this morning. What else do we have here? Hey Sam, how's it going over in Italy with the new cases of Corona? And if so, is there more talk of a lockdown there or no? I'm trying to get the pulse of where we're at in terms of Europe. And for those folks that are just viewing and joining in, Sam is from Italy, northern Italy. So he's our man on the street in Italy. We're a global enterprise here. let's go to gold. Gold is flat on the session. Not loving this chart. It did rebound a bit yesterday off the lows. But my concern here on a 1-hour chart is this head and shoulders setup. We really haven't broken down hard, but we've broken down below this head and shoulders setup. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here's the neckline. And we're down below it. Good morning, Will. Jay, good morning. Will CRM continue to go up or have a small pullback first? We'll take a look at the chart. I know they reported earnings yesterday. From what I understand, they were up. Yeah. So we're at 247 spot 88 last tick pre-market. I think it all depends upon where we stand technically from a higher level view, daily, weekly basis. On a weekly basis, we're at RSI at current. This is real time, 88 spot 10. I'm sorry. This is on a 4-hour basis, not a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, RSI is not that bad. We're at 67 and a half roughly daily. Not even at 70. I think we can move up higher here. Let's see whether or not the market's been sending us any signals on the daily chart. All right, so on a daily basis, you can see that we're ripping through the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. 16. $249 was the high. Yeah, this is gonna. You can't chase these shares. I mean, if it trades sideways, it can move up higher. But where we stand relative to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, this is a monthly chart now. It's very overbought. Let's go to a daily chart. We're up here. It's hard to make it out, but there we are, way up here. Now, if anything, I think it's setting up as a potential short. Not that it's a bet that it's going to crash at all, but that certainly it's overdone. So I would avoid to the long side, quite possibly speculate to the short side. Let this come in a little bit, possibly even fill this gap. That's a nice profit. So me, I would bet short on CRM, but I wait to see how it closes out the day. For all we know, it closes at the highs of the day. Let the shorts get squeezed here, and then once they're squeezed out, then look to short. I'm reading your note, Sam. People will have to go to other countries which do not have severe restrictions, so you're suffering the case. Is there a pushback over in Italy with regards to a new shutdown or a renewed shutdown? And are you folks wearing masks as we are over here? I follow some friends over on Instagram, and I don't see them wearing masks at all. Not that I believe that it's all that helpful. I think it's more of a sham than anything else, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm certainly not able to. I abide by the law. Oh, so nobody wears masks over there? Isn't that interesting? Oh, you do need to wear a mask. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Alibaba. Man, this thing really took off. I didn't want to do that. So Alibaba, at the highs of the month, trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. Weekly chart. Huge breakout week last week. Continuation move higher this week. Daily chart. A bit extended here, but I think that we can go higher. You know, RSI is at 75.62. It can go higher. So it's certainly not a short. If anything, I think the path of least resistance remains higher. I think they've already talked about wanting to arrest Bill Gates over in Italy. I'm going to bring up SC Works because I just got a text. Let's see what's going on over there. This was a COVID play that went really wrong. It's popping up higher. Let's see what kind of news. I would not suggest anyone get involved with this stock. They halted trading not too long ago. All right, let's see what's going on here. If anything, SC Works surging 12% on Tuesday. All right, so they appointed Timothy Hannibal as president, COO, and director. Yada yada yada. All right, nothing here. I would avoid. All right, let's see what else we got. Best Buy. We shorted Best Buy. Right here. And we booked profits yesterday. They're trying to bid it back up now. I think that this rally is probably done for a while. Let's see what else we got. How are bonds doing this morning? Bonds are weak. That means that yields are rising yet again. I want to take a look at how we closed out the day yesterday on the 10-year. We're going to use a weekly chart that gives us a higher level view. And bond yields are breaking out yet again, folks. This is serious stuff. This is very, very serious. Because it's not good for technology, but it is good for the banks, of which we are long, and we will be looking to add more if we close out the week with a breakout. This is a weekly chart of the XLF. It's still struggling here. I mean, there's no clarion call for everyone to go buying banks right now. But the rising interest rate environment will help the banks. Let's go to a daily chart. I'd be far more comfortable with buying more banks on a rally up and through 25.77 on the XLF. Good morning, Kat. So let's keep an eye on yields because they are pressing up higher. The Jackson Hole speech can influence yields, but if we close out the week with a weekly breakout, expect higher highs on yields. And that'll help with sector rotation. Let's take a look at ag. Ag is coming in a little bit. This is corn. I want to bring up the DBA and point out Invesco. Let's go to my annotated view. Here's a monthly view. Look at this breakout. Beautiful. We broke out last month. Continuation move higher this month. Weekly chart. Bouncing off of 1425. Healthy chart. And yesterday was a very good day. All the gains of the week came yesterday on volume. Look at this volume. So the DBA is under accumulation by institutions. This is not mom and pop buying 100 shares. So these are the early warning signals of inflation, folks. You heard it from Sam earlier. He's paying what? 4 euros for 1 kilogram of tomatoes. Sounds expensive. All right, so in short, flat day. If there are no other symbols, I'm going to probably say everybody have a profitable day. If you have a symbol you want me to go over, I'd be more than happy to do so. While I wait for this time delayed message to get out, I'm just going to circle back to the futures. Check out silver. It is up. That's good to see. We have a position in silver. I'm not looking to add more just yet. Take care, Sam. Wheat. You know, copper. I'm going to go to copper. Copper looking very good. Up over 3/4 percentage point on the session. Let's check back with gold. Gold coming off the lows a little bit, but weak. And remember, this is the chart that we're watching right now, and this needs to get resolved. Head and shoulders set up. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We've broken the neckline. So the path of least resistance, short term anyway, is to the downside with lower highs and lower lows. So let's just be careful here. We're bullish longer term, but rising yields are going to, for the short term anyway, keep pressure on gold prices. Yeah, BA had a rough day yesterday. Let's bring it up. Let's talk about it. We're about flat in the pre-market. That's a good question, Oliver. I don't know. I hope that they better keep buying gold at these prices. I'm going to clean this all up. I'm going to start fresh on gold. This has gotten way too noisy. You can see we spent a lot of time going over gold. Let's remove all. Start fresh. All right, so the first thing right off the bat, that this is a weekly chart. The first thing that we take note of is look at this huge volume shelf. We need to get above it. or we need to do a pullback and a retest of this lower band of the wedge formation. Now, ideally, what we get here on our Stokes, I don't know if you can see that arrow there, but what I'm trying to point out is that what we want to see is a W formation form and a higher low versus this prior low back here. And it's possible, but we really need to see a strong back half of the week this week. RSI moving up nicely. Very nice. So, for those just joining in, the charting software I'm using is TrendSpider. If you're interested in it, multi-time frame analysis, there's a link below, 35% off, the lowest price on the web. In fact, let's overlay some trend lines. We'll go with the weekly first on a weekly chart. Clear resistance up here, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's take this off. Let's go with monthly resistance. Stiff support below, but that's down at let's call it 150. The transports have been strong. And so the play here is, it's pretty simple, is if we get a pullback to this lower band of support, you know what? You want to nibble, go for it, use a stop loss right below. The key is tight stop. All right, so we'll keep this active. What would be a really nice entry point is if this market corrected and we came down to retest this support level. And this is monthly support on a weekly chart. Now, if we broke out above 189, which is just above this volume shelf, let's just call it 190. 190 per share, that would be very, very attractive. And then I think we begin the road to recovery. So our indicators looking good. RSI looking better than Stokes, but Stokes is developing. Price action, clear and defined resistance above. We need to get through it, or we need to get a pullback to one of these two support levels and then get a running start at this ton of overhead supply. There's a huge battle going on at that price point. So here's our trend line, our lower band of support. I think it's a pretty simple game plan. Our alerts are set. Actually, it's not set. Let's go back to the weekly chart. I want to get alerted as to the breakout. I don't want any sensitivity. I just want to know when it closes above that mark. Durable goods should have just been announced. I want to take a look at the S&P 500 before we log off. We're going to keep this active for a couple of weeks. I've been looking to get involved with Boeing again. We booked profits up at around 204. Let's take a look at durable goods. what happened. How's the market reacting? Durable goods. I knew it. This is the effect, the impact of people leaving the cities. Remember that housing data came in extremely strong yesterday, and durable goods, huge jump. Actual 11.2% increase in July versus 4.3% expected. Let's see how the markets are reacting to this. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see weakness on this. And the reason why is that traders are afraid that yields will move up higher. So let's see how bonds are reacting. And bonds are selling off a bit here on the news. Hey, good morning, Pat. Oh, we have durable goods out, Pat. So we're selling off a little bit here on bonds, which means that yields are moving up higher. So my guess is that if anything, we're seeing strength in the banks. They're coming off the lows of the session. Probably a bit of weakness, yeah. Gold is selling off hard now. All right, so this is that concern I had. Here's that head and shoulders setup. Now we're really starting to pick up steam to the downside. But at some point in time, people are going to realize if you have inflation like this and yields remain ridiculously low, even if they move up higher, let's say tomorrow we wake up and the 10-year yield's at 1%. Is that really going to fight inflation? I don't think so. And then they'll return to gold to protect their buying power. Silver now negative, it was positive earlier. The NASDAQ 100, it's really come off now. The Russell is actually improved. S&P 500 coming off the lows. All right, so we're stabilizing here a little bit. But remember, keep an eye on the S&P, its percentage price action relative to the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100, which is primarily technology in a rising interest rate environment, will not thrive as much as the old manufacturing names. So we're up spot 5% on spot 0.5%. The S&P 500 and gaining a little bit of strength, whereas the NASDAQ 100 is weakening a bit. So it's telling the story. Let's go to the dollar, see what's going on there. Yep, breaking out. So this is not good for gold, the miners, assuming that we hold this breakout. All right, with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a profitable trading day. If you could smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. And I will talk to you tomorrow night on Thursday night Stock Charts Live. That's where we review the closing price action of the weekly charts. And please, if you're used to getting notifications, I've heard from a couple of people now that they're not getting notifications when I go live. There's a link below to an email list. I don't like to send it every morning, but I do like to send it when I go live on Sunday nights and Thursday nights because I don't want people to get spammed. So there's a link if you want to get notified when I go live. Please enter your email address. We hate spam too, and you get notified 15 minutes to a half hour prior to us going live. Yeah, Oliver, another Thursday. I can't believe it. And tonight I'm doing a taping for TrendSpider at 6 p.m. I think it appears on Labor Day evening. So I'll be doing that tonight. So subscribe to their channel as well. And I think I'm doing a demonstration of how I use TrendSpider. So if you want that software, again, there's a link below, 35% off. And I'll be appearing with them. I think this is like my fourth or fifth time on TrendSpider and their trading pitch show. And everybody, again, have a profitable trading day. Talk to you soon. Be well. You're welcome, Cap.